Good evening, everybody, and a warm welcome to all the aspirants who are writing the FMGE exam in the upcoming January schedule. As the NMC has announced, the NB has given a date that the upcoming FMG will be in January. So we have with us our esteemed faculty, Dr. Rajiv Dhawan sir, and we'll be joined by Dr. Sandeep sir, our pediatrics faculty also. And this is a very important session, just close to your exam, right at the time when the date has been announced, and there is a slight delay that we are able to, get a couple of weeks of extended study time. We wanted you to have an interaction with the faculty team and understand exactly how to approach this gap. And let's welcome Rajiv Dhawan sir. Sir, a warm welcome. And with this extended period, the students are also happy that they would get time to revise. Some important input from your side, sir, on this.
Yes, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. And welcome to all the FMG aspirants who are targeting the next examination now. And as the NB has postponed the examination, and it is tentatively in January. Tentative is a very, English is a beautiful language, you know it. And so please be careful about it, So they have said that please do check the internet website time to time again for the regular updates. So it means that they have just kept it a casual thing in their mind that, okay, January. Anyway, let's take something like the first week of January as the date. So we got a month extra. So that's what the thing is. So my take on that would be, now this has got a wonderful opportunity and a hidden challenge also. My concern is that, when this such, Sandeep Sharma sir has joined, welcome Sandeep sir. He just finished the class. Thank you. Yes, sir. So, Sandeep sir, we are just giving the opening comments about it, that about the exam being postponed, the opportunities and the challenges, actually. The opportunity is that people who have been actually complaining that we are not getting time to revise the things. How can Dr. Dhawan, I can do the third revision when the second is not going to complete before 4 December? And a lot of people were saying there's a 9 to 9 classes. How can we do the multiple choice questions? I think nature has given you a wonderful chance. It is now your decision, because you are grown-up people, and we are not here to really do sermons over here. We're going to openly discuss with very collaborate approach with you guys, that what is most rational thing to do at this moment. I would say everyone who would look at the result of January 2023, they would get a beautiful hint over there that when people got extra time, and whosoever utilized that time, and if God bless that hard work, we got the brightest result in the history of FMG examination. Your batch is also getting the same trajectory. Please have a wonderful ride. Yeah. Sandeep Sharma sir, your comments.
Yeah, very rightly said. First of all, good evening, everyone. Sorry, it took me 5 minutes to join because I was taking a class. So you know how it is after a class. Having said that, yes, all of the students need to realize that this is a godsend opportunity. Instead of the exam happening in December, now it is happening in January. And from what it looks like, it is not going to be, in the first week of January, although they have not said anything, but likely to be in the mid of January or maybe around the late January. But it is very important for us to understand a few things. Firstly, the date is not yet out, but you need to define a date for yourself. Unless we define a date, it is very difficult for us to start preparing for something. So first thing is define a date. Let it be 10th January or 15th January in your mind. If it becomes late, excellent, we get more time. Then it is important that whatever classes you have attended, most of your classes will be ending by this time. So focus on finishing off whatever pending subjects that you have. For those students who have already done with the classes, now it is time for revision. And unless absolutely needed, don't go in for, those fancy programs or fancy things which are happening. It needs to be individualized for you. For someone who knows the theory and in whom MCQ practice is a problem, focus on MCQ. If you find your content is a problem, selectively you can consider adding some content, some class of that particular subject. But it needs to be individualized in your case. And third thing is effectively planning revision. Now, how to go about effectively planning revision and what are the suggestions? I think I hand it over to the two experts, and then I will be adding some points, some comments from my end. The analytical part I will be adding to it. So over to Khaleel sir and Rajiv sir. Khaleel sir, if you can throw some
Yes,
light on it.
yes, sir. So actually, I think this is the time to be very positive. Like so far, right from the time you have come from universities and the preparing from July exam, on from the July date till now, there's a lot of information that you have accumulated in this 3 months. So first thing is a major battle is already won. So you need to be very positive that by the time you had actually come down from the university to the date that we are talking today, there has been a huge change in your understanding of the subjects, the huge change in the number of subjects that you could complete, and you've planned it thinking that the exam was in December. So there's a lot of effort already done, and you have not worked so hard just to give up or get loosened out here at this moment. You have gathered so much information, worked on so many tests and discussions, worked on so much MCQs, right? Completed so many subjects. Few subjects will be there. I think by November 15, if you can plan to finish all the pending subjects, the chances of doing mistakes in subjects that you don't know or you haven't done are higher than subjects that you have already done and not revised. So first thing is try to see that you complete as many subjects as possible. I would say that because the time is there, you should finish all 19 subjects. There is no excuse at this point of time not completing them. And these should be done in the early part of November. By November 15th, all of you should be able to complete all the pending subjects. And I think having come so far, having worked so much, it is a huge opportunity that you will not have any complaints or any excuses to give that I didn't get time to complete the revisions. If you can have a scheduled revision, scheduled spaced revision, and multiple revisions, your game is set. You are well prepared for the exam. Stay positive on that, and avoid mistakes of getting panicked or anxious at this time, and be very systematic. Don't be too lazy. Don't be too anxious. Continue the rhythm. Stay there in that momentum till the exam. You hardly got 2 weeks more. Even if you revise one subject 1 day more, you still need 19 days. So don't take it as a big gap. It's just like one more extra revision is possible, and that is needed. And the time in December would have been very less. This is ideal time. It is not a extra time also that you have got. This is an ideal time that you will be ready for your exam. Dhawan sir, your input, sir.
Absolutely, sir. Very rightly said. Now, a couple of suggestions for all of you. Number one, if you've got extra time, please invest first of all in your weaker areas, as sir told. Because you know what, for example, in medicine, you did CVS, CNS, but you could not do justice to rheumatology or endocrinology or respiratory medicine. You could not really read or revise, or you have that fear of pharmacology, certain parts of that I could do again CVS, CNS, but when the opportunity came for the anti-cancer drugs or the immunomodulators, I have not been able to invest time because I felt that if I keep reading only pharmacology, I would, leave certain other subjects. But now we don't have any excuse. 4 December examination would have been, the strategy would have worked, just have a staggered approach in between. But now nature has given you one chance. If I would have been a repeater, for example, if I'm repeating and I'm doing self-study or I'm doing an online TMD program or whatever, what I would have done, I would have written 10 most important subjects actually, and I would have written the 10 sections of those subjects, which I'm really weak at. For example, radiology, people say, it's like, so some people it's very like a voluminous thing. It has to be voluminous because it is going to connect with all the clinical domains. So radiology cannot be a micro subject, you understand that. But radiology becomes an integration of a lot of other subjects over there. So if I'm a student, I would have done, so I did not read MRI till now because I thought I've just seen superficial images and all that. Now I would write radiology. In front of that, I write the MRI as the domain I'm not really clear about. I've just done superficial study of that. In pediatrics, knows better than I do. But what I could understand that we have got certain domains weaker in a lot of clinical and the paraclinical or the basic science subjects. Anybody can say, Dr. Dhawan, neuroanatomy and head and neck, I could not do. Upper limb, lower limb, abdomen, perineum, I did in anatomy. But neuroanatomy, head and neck, I thought I will do just MCQs. Time has come to encash those arenas also. Because between 138 and 155, the difference is not huge, man. There are silly mistakes. There are difficult questions, agreed. But if we start making our weaker areas relatively stronger, not the strongest, I'm saying, relatively stronger, the gap between 138 and the 152 is easy to be bridged. So my take on that would be, in these days, I would first of all make my weaker section of 10 important subjects relatively stronger. So.
Yes, sir, Sandeep, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, to add, sir has given some very good suggestions. Now, I'm going to address another important thing on which a lot of students say, sir, I solved a grand test or a mock test or a mock exam or a previous year question, and there were questions on the topics which have not been covered in the class so far. Classes are over. What do I do about those topics? See, if you solve a previous year question, or there is a topic on which repeatedly questions are being asked, but it is somehow missed in the face-to-face class or whatever source that you are following, do not panic. If you try to go only for one-liner thing, like just remember one-liner as the answer, that is a risky approach, right? One-liners don't really work if you go by the recent trends. At the same time, you are running short on time for the detailed reading also. Just try to see what is the topic. I will give you an example. Suppose there is a topic, there is a syndrome. Suppose you have not read Wilson disease, right? The middle way approach will be working. What is the middle way approach? Every topic, every syndrome. Number one, is it inherited? It is infectious? Is it genetic? Number two, what is the causative agent? If it is a genetic syndrome, what is the gene and chromosome number? Forget about P and Q. P and Q, fine details. FMG people seldom ask. Third thing, what is the age group? Number four, what is the cardinal feature or the presenting feature? Number five, investigation of choice. Number six, drug of choice. And that should include the MCQ on which question has been asked, right? So what you do like this is, number one, you are covering the one-liner which was asked. Number two, it gives you confidence that you have read more than a one-liner. Number three, it is time-saving. And number four, when a topic gets repeated in FMGE, they don't usually repeat the question, but they ask things around that particular topic. So you are basically ensuring yourself and putting you in a more safe zone. If a limited time is there and topics, you find some topics like that, particularly in clinical medicine, you can focus like that. That is one suggestion from my end. Second suggestion is, like, sir, both the respected sirs will be talking about what to do. I will also tell you from my end what not to do in the next 2.5 to 3 months which you have. First of all, do not try to be too adventurous and try too many new things what you have not read so far, right? Buying a new guidebook with a 10,000 pages in that, even if someone says exam is going to be set from that, please don't do that. It is not doable. What you can't eat, what you can't digest, don't eat that. What you can't revise, don't read that. It's as simple as that. Second time, do not leave any subjects. Khaleel sir already suggested about it. In medicine, and you will leave dermatology or psychiatry, that is not going to happen. There will always be questions from every part, and who knows, medicine is your strong, and psychiatry will be coming very easy. So if you have read psychiatry, at least the bare minimum 7, 8, 10 topics, that may save you. Instead of you getting 145, those 5 or 6 questions will make you cross the line. So don't leave subjects. Third thing, do not give time according to weightage, not according to your like and dislike of the subject, like and dislike of the teacher, like and dislike of the the class that you attended. Give time according to weightage. Medicine, surgery, OBG, maximum time, and then the other subjects, the lesser time. So give time according to weightage and try to avoid. This is going to be controversial, nothing personal in this, but if I am a student in your place, I will not be attending a random new course where, one person, suppose it is me, and I'm trying to teach you all 19 subjects in one go, in 1 day or 2 days. Every single day matters. And the time you will spend on that, you can do a simple revision using any short revision course from whatever source you are following. Every single day matters. Don't try to take too many shortcuts. Still, there is time where you can do it instead of, running helter-skelter, trying out too many things at this time. Just some suggestions from my end. More I will keep adding. Over to sir. Sir, some more things from your end.
I think it's important to understand, sir. Dhawan sir, you must be seeing the students at this point of time, having done a lot of work. Now the courses are close to completion. Now there is a temptation just because of the postponement. Shall we take a break, go back home from our study places, right? Shall we, just spend a couple of days at home, relax off? It's been such a hectic journey. Now the exam is postponed. What would you advise? Do you think, I mean, that would be a reasonable thing? Because the exam date is in January now?
No, I'm very clear in that, sir, actually. That last time also when the exam was postponed, I was in 𝗏𝗏𝗃 at that time. I was telling yesterday also on Instagram Live that, and a lot of people picked up the bags. They were going to catch the Jaipur bus and other buses and all. I caught hold of a few people. I said, do not change your GPS location. It's a huge temptation. If I would have been an FMG student or 𝗏𝗵𝗹𝗃 student, suddenly get a news, oh, the exam got postponed by a couple of weeks. I would say, let me go home. Diwali is coming or some other festival is coming. We get very emotional. Life is only about, family and all that. My dear friends, I'm always telling you, brain does not want to study. Brain wants to create 1,000 reasons to justify why should not I study right now. Because the one thing which brain has developed very nicely is the art of procrastination, actually. That's within us, actually. So guys, please be careful. Please stick to the GPS location you are on till the time the exam is over. I'm sorry if I'm being preachy over here, but that's what we want. Work be blessed. But the problem is this extra time can be a double-edged sword. You have read something a lot very clearly. Now, if you do not follow this now rhythm of preparation and you leave it in between, it goes otherwise, unfortunately. So please be careful. Number one, just be where you are. Don't go home. If it is festival, you take a half-day break with your friends in the place you are staying. If you are studying from home, be there only. Don't come to 𝗏𝗏𝗃 to study now. Don't do any changes in your location, people you are studying with, libraries you are studying. Please continue over there only. It's my humble request to all of you. Number two, I would say, now everyone, please be careful that when we get too much time now, we get too much time to waste also. You know it now. Now, till now, we were having struggle that, what, how can I do an MCQ, Rajiv sir? Why can't we really, please see, this YouTube session is not to really, create some, doctrine for you to follow. It is to think aloud with you guys because you are very mature people. Why can't we keep a sanitized window of 2.5 to 3 hours every day for MCQs only, which should be PYQs and additional questions also? Why can't we do that? Some people ask me, sir, can I see NEET PG last 3 session question? But then in the same breath, they will say, sir, I could never get time for that, hard into the PYQ of the FMGs. Now, my dear friends, you have the time. So number one, don't change anything in your preparation rhythm. It should be maintained because it's not that we were done with preparation and the time has been given more. We were always having scarcity of time and nature has been kind. Please keep January 2023 result and the story behind that in your mind. The biggest reason of the wonderful result we had was people utilized the time well. If that batch could you do, you can also do. Why not? Secondly, do a lot of MCQs. Last batch, people passed. People said January paper, Rajiv, the paper 2 was tricky. This time paper 1 was tricky. But you all know we had in both the paper collectively between 180 to 185, 190 questions, which were manageable. Now, if you leave, for example, neonatology or MRI or ear from ENT, you will lose 2 marks from somewhere there. Such kind of, 2 extra marks from everywhere would make us cross the line of 150. So please be, utilizing you because you are very grown people. I know FMGs, you are very smart chaps. You have got sharp brain, but the sharp brain is both ways actually. You can justify your acts also, or you can take the responsibility of your acts also. So ball is in your court.
And also, Sandeep sir, one thing I constantly see is among students is there are different group of students finishing their courses at different times. And there's a constant comparison that, sir, that those people are in their first revision. I'm still completing my subjects. They are doing their second revision. I mean, this constant comparison, and how do you think, this is harmful, and what solution do you advise, sir? Especially that constant comparison with the seniors who have graduated earlier and who are finishing little 10 days later.
Sir, this is a very useful point you raised. See, there is no, there's something that we need to understand. End of the day, it's a battle which everyone has to fight in their own way. It's an individual battle we are going to have. It's not a group battle that is going to happen. Number one. Number two, eventually what will matter is people who have been preparing for so long, but they are not revising in the last 3 months. Trust me, things they forget. We are all humans, we all forget. If you are very good in, say, ENT, and you don't revise ENT for 5 months, when you sit in the exam, you would be surprised to know that 80% things you will not recall. So your strong area keeps becoming weaker. So somebody who had started well, good luck for him or her. But at the same time, you are also not out of the race. You need to understand that 3 month time is more than sufficient. Don't look at others. It is time to cut out the noise and focus on where you stand. Analyze yourself objectively. How many subjects done? What subjects pending? If all subjects done, start from the subject which you had done the earliest, so that you are not totally out of any subject for a too long duration. At the same time, if a subject is pending, priority is finishing off that subject. Already started with one revision, start with second revision. Somebody doing third revision, it may not be as effective. So end of the day, you need to trust yourself. And what will sometimes happen is you will start panicking in the paper. My urgent advice to you, आधा घंटा अपने लिए, half an hour for yourself every day. Read 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, whatever your body allows you to. But at the same time, don't burn yourself out. Take proper sleep. Rajiv sir has already said, don't change your location. Don't try to do too many things at the same time. At the same time, apne liye आधा घंटा. In those 30 minutes, de-stress yourself. See what you like to do. Singing, hop, dancing, watching a movie. One student said, "Sir, मुझे कुछ भी अच्छा नहीं लगता." कुछ तो होगा. Find something which motivates you. Find something which you like. Scrolling through reels of people, looking at motivational videos, checking out, Bollywood gossip, whatever you like. Just do it. 30 minutes, de-stress yourself. Keep 30 minutes for yourself. You will find that you are not burning out. And stop comparing. It's an individual battle that you have to do. And question will be there, answer will be there. If you have done it, if you have twice, I'm putting it very clearly, 2 times, if you have gone through your notes and practiced previous year questions 2 times and given 1 or 2 mock exam, if you sit in the exam and you are honest in your preparation over the next 3 months, answer pata chal jayega. You may not immediately know the answer, but even if instinctively mark something, that will be the correct answer. Because subconscious mind also stores the information. The only point is not to compare, not to be too negative, and not to be too harsh on yourself. Don't try too many things. Like they say in cricket, you try too many things, you lose. Look at the match, Afghanistan versus Pakistan. Afghanistan was poor till the end, and they did well. Don't play the way South Africa played against Pakistan yesterday. Yes, they won, but they were almost at the end of losing the game. So having a calm mind and not comparing yourself and not going into a negative thing is something important. Over to you, sir. Any thing you want to add into
Yeah. So actually what Khaleel sir has asked actually about the 2 batches, I can understand, because that's a very common query. But guys, please understand, we are having the stories in our mind about the tortoise and the rabbit actually. But this is a situation when the tortoise and rabbit both can win, both can reach the finishing line at the same time. So please understand that. So it's not that, like people who really so we have that fear that I am finishing later. Anyway, getting more time now. So look at the positive aspect. Don't worry. You are a tortoise or you're a rabbit. Both can reach the finishing line at the same time. The situation is favorable, right?
Yeah, I personally feel so, the same thing as you guys said. It is important to complete or study to a level where it is helping you pass, not study faster or complete faster. It's about completing to a level where it is helping you clear your exam. And one more thing, constant query, sir, from students, what I get is, sir, first time when I studied that subject, when sir videos we watched or we listened to sir's class, we could complete everything, MCQs we were, and we thought revision will be faster. But when we are sitting with the revision, now I feel that I have forgotten everything from the notes. I feel, where did I write my own notes? Should I go to some concise version? And I see many students shifting to, these rapid courses, revision courses, leaving out all the hard work that they have done in the class notes. Any inputs on that, sir?
Yeah. I've always been saying this, that brain develops pictorial memory. Whatever notes you have made in the class, the workbook you have filled in the class, reading that workbook in a rapid fashion is the real rapid revision. Have a vision to have a revision. If you're creating the new notes of another rapid session, this will be the first time contact with the brain. Unfortunately, the brain works like that. Have you remember? Do you please let me know if I'm not correct? In some time when you go in a test or an exam, suddenly brain tells that you had written with your blue pen and put a circle around that, what syndrome it was, or some empty delta sign or delta sign in this thrombosis sir had made you write over there. So that kind of pictorial memory helps you solve that question actually. So please guys stick to the content you have really like created by attending the classes, hearing the videos, everything. Reading that content faster is a real rapid revision. So I would not, as Sandeep Sharma said, sir, said that there may be another courses announced in next few days. But guys, there's a limit you can handle actually. Let us do the rumination. You learn from cow actually, because I remember from a village that, cow will only eat that much which it can ruminate. Howsoever it may be served to it, it has a natural wisdom. Still 1/4 to half is there. I would see the cow will sit down, now it will ruminate. It's time for you to ruminate the same content, not to eat the fresh content and then not revising that also and this also. That doesn't work. Nothing is imperfect and nothing is perfect as far as the medical content is concerned. Medical science महामाया है, इसको कोई पूरा ना समझ पाया है. The question is, जितना भी समझ पाया है, क्या तुम रिवाइज कर पाए? That's the main content thing. Because you go to X or Y, some points are there deficient, some points are here deficient, some points there extra or here extra. Till how long we can keep doing it? We have to put our faith and trust in one, set of the, information we collected. It's time for you to read that only faster. So my take on that.
Yes, sir. Sandeep, sir, any points that you would like to add?
Sir, just elaborating, like taking off from what Rajiv sir said. Like, for example, if a lot of people are of the opinion that if I don't have a confidence or I've left out a certain topic or certain thing, let me do it from the quick revision or rapid revision kind of courses. You need to understand one thing, that whatever course you are doing, if you are starting afresh, it is all going to go waste if you are not going to revise. Ask yourself, do you have the time for a new course and then revising it again also? Isn't it better that whatever notes that you have made, you revise them? They are at least your own handwritten notes and it will be easier for you to revise. Reading one thing in 1 month and revising it once will give you X number. But whatever things you have already made, giving it 2 readings will give you 2X the number when you sit in the exam. So trust your sources, and in case there is a particular topic or in case there is a particular small subject which you have totally left out, exception can be made for that particular, but you need to adapt it according to your requirement. Don't go by what others are saying, right? You go to a party, there is a buffet over there. We feel like eating all of them, but we can't eat. End of the day, we eat what we like, number one, what we want to try out, and thirdly, what we can digest. So I keep coming back to it. Please read only what you can revise. If you can't revise a thing, it is all going to go waste. At the same time, a lot of students are of the opinion, sir, mock exam score is not rising or score is falling. Please understand that mock exam is not a true reflection of the exam itself. Usually mock exams are made on the tougher side for the simple reason that you don't get overconfident in the exam. Actual exam is 5%, 10% easier on an average compared to any mock exam. So whatever you are doing, analyze where you are going wrong. If a particular subject has been done and you are not able to solve more than 50% MCQs in the mock exam, that subject needs focus. So mock exam helps you in focus. Second, mock exam will help you in avoiding the fatigue in the exam. Because only when you sit and solve and focus for 3 hours in a time schedule, then only your mind will start working on that. So please utilize the mock exams and don't look at the absolute scores which you are getting in the mock exam. And third thing which I want to focus is, students say, sir, my score is static. It is between 120 to 130 and 130 to 150. It is the bulk subjects which increase your score. So if you are not getting above 140 or above 150, your bigger subjects are lacking. identify the bigger subject. When I say bigger subject, medicine sabka weak hota hai, it's okay, but do work on that. Surgery, OBG, pathology, pharmacology, PSM. Focus on these areas and identify which is the bigger subject which is taking you down. 3 months is more than enough time. Focus on that. Along with that, smaller subjects, you keep continuing whatever revision you are doing. Over to you, sir.
So, at this point of time, it's important to maintain that balance between theory and MCQs, especially with the test and discussions and grant test. How do you think students should actually approach a test or a grant test, and with the limited time frame they have? How do you think the revision should be strategized, that they complete the syllabus, do the MCQs also, and also revise whatever they have learned in this process? Any strategy to, what you have done, for example, ENT, they have studied for 4 days during regular classes. Now they can't give more than 2 days. And in that process, what do you think should be there when they're approaching the notes or the MCQs?
Yeah. How to make your revision faster? That's a very good, thing we would love to talk about. Guys, in any page, if you look at, for example, your topic of, I would say, laryngeal cancer, it's not that every word is important, that you should really cram it up and all that. Something is story building actually by the faculty. For example, supraglottic cancer got this symptom, the critical word over there, hot potato voice is there. Or maybe something like, vocal cord cancers do not metastasize because they don't have lymphatics. That is what you need to refresh in your mind, not that close your eyes and like a 5th or 6th grade student start revising, staying the statement. Now, please graduate from a student to a clinician. My request to all of you, I'm saying that secret of passing this paper is TLC, think like clinician. Please think like clinician. And when you think like clinician means that there's a like a complete chapter of rheumatology or, for example, that N number disease written over there. As Sandeep Sharma very nicely said, that create a profile in your mind about the etiology to age profile, to the symptomatology, to the best investigation, and the right drug of choice or treatment planning in your mind. And that's all about it. That this is not a theoretical paper. When I say revision has to be focused and cerebral and faster, it only means that if you took 2 days to revise ENT last time, you should not take more than 1 day to revise ENT this time. Let me tell you, guys, ask yourself, can you not finish the whole larynx in 2 hours? Nose 2 hours, pharynx 1.5 hours, and the remaining day belongs to ear. That's all about it. There's nothing much over. I'm not saying there's a lot of things we'll discuss in NEET PG for sure, INSCT, but for the FMG examination saying, we can justify really doing, ENT, and ask yourself, when we discuss the class also, after class finish, I said 2.5 hours for larynx revision. Now I'm saying 2 hours, that's all. And ear, 3 sections are there. You finish the ENT in 1 day. You will feel very nice about it. And later on in the month of December, 3rd week, again, the opportunity comes. Now you can, revise ENT one more time. Rather than giving 2 days again now in the month of November to ENT, why can't we have a quick focused revision like this, like a clinician does now and one time again over there? Everybody, please give GTs and please give mocks. That's important. And you have the time now. If I would have been a student of the FMG, I would have definitely done total 6 things. When I say 6, maybe 4 GT or 2 mock or 3 GT, 3 mock, whatever you are comfortable. Try from the resources. DocTutorials is conducting a lot of mock tests which are open and accessible for everyone. And try that. Last time also we conducted tests and a lot of people wrote to me that sir, paper 1 was very challenging. And eventually when we saw the paper 1 was challenging. So you understand that. So we invite you to really try these mock tests, which we will be doing, and total 6 should be done. But when you do mock tests, the biggest mistake, why people score 135, 142 in the mock, actually, they are finishing the mock of paper A, 150 question in 90 minutes, 95 minutes, 92 minutes, and they feel pride in that. There's no reward of that, dear friends. It's not fastest finger first. I'm sorry. You need to learn processing of information of 19 different subjects in 1 day without having too many breaks in between. This is an art to be practiced with. This is a 20th subject you need to make your brain aware of. Don't think that it will suddenly you will feel like, guys, can you understand? OBGYN to surgery to radiology to pediatrics to ENT, ophtha. just in a span of, like 150 minutes, the art of processing this much information at such a rapid rate is definitely demanding practice actually. So GT's mocks are absolutely recommended and very much essential. But when you do GT, don't leave GT before 150 minutes. That's not a good idea. Then you're not allowing the brain to simulate. You are training the brain in a wrong manner, that you have to go faster. Then you do silly mistakes. Then you feel low about it. Then you waste one more day. Let's not do that. GT means create a simulation in your mind. Wear the sports shoes. Make your chair, table ready. Don't take any break or loo break or phone call in between. Nothing. It should be exact simulation of what you're living on that day. Preferably on the same timeline also. The brain actually has circadian actually. So paper one, then you take some break, then paper two. Guys, do like that. Believe me, score will start going toward 160, 165. You feel nice about it. But don't go fast. So my take on that.
Yes, sir. And I think, one advice from my side also, that when you write a GT, it is important not to, be attached to the score and think that you're going to get the same reflected score in your main exam. Use as a GT as a learning tool, but analyze the mistakes. Many people start writing GT after GT without looking at the mistakes that they have done. Write your next GT only after you revised your previous GT and the mistakes that you have done. The whole purpose of GT is to pick out those mistakes, to pick out those topics that you're doing errors in. And only if you improve on that, only if you do your mistakes correctly, you look at them where the concept was not applied properly, where the content was deficient, and you work on those things, your next GTs will improve. And do not think that this same GT score will be there in the exam date. Okay, whether you got good scores or whether you got neither be too happy, neither be too sad about it. It's a learning process, it's a learning tool, not a judging tool. And sir, your takes on that, how many MCQs to write, how many test and discussions, and with the balance about GTs?
Sir, there is no clear-cut rule here. I think we need to, the only bare minimum and the average things we can discuss. On an average, looking at 3 months time from now, in case you are done with all 19 subjects once, along with the revision, I think one grand test every 10 days or 10 to 14 days should be ideal. It is not too much. It is also not too less. And as I said, the grand test day should be the entire grand test day. Rajiv sir, what he said, you solve the test. It is not only solving the test. You solve the test in the time frame. Then you analyze, take a break. 1 hour you take a break, sleep off something. Come back to the test. See and analyze what were the subjects you performed well, what were the subjects you did not perform well. And then identify, take out some points, add to the notes, and let that day be the grand test day. Give it another 10 days later and see in what direction your score is moving. Even if the total score is falling, but overall the subject which was causing you a problem, it is on the rising trend, take it as a good sign. Even between the institutes, you will find that the consistency of level of paper will not be there. So there will be some fluctuation in the exam, and that will happen with everyone. But you need to be thorough and you need to be consistent with the grand test. Number one. Number two, in case you are planning for doing revisions alongside, in case your subjects are not done, try to finish off that subject, but still about 30% or 20 to 30% of entire day, you should be solving PYQ. Third thing, a lot of students have asked about, sir, are PYQs enough for revision? PYQs are like oxygen. You can't live without oxygen. If you are going to appear in the exam without going through PYQ of FMG exam, that is going to be suicidal. At the same time, you cannot survive on oxygen here alone. You also need water. You also need food, right? So PYQ is your oxygen. Along with that, try to read your notes. Try to give one mock exam. Try to give one TND or subject-wise test or QBank, whatever is okay with you. If you have never solved a QBank, my advice would be don't start a new QBank right now. It is always better to go for some test and discussion kind of a thing, or increasing the frequency of mock exam, because many of the QBanks are too massive and you will get lost and you will not be able to finish off one subject in 10 days, 15 days, and then you will start feeling bad about it. And you will feel that you are wasting the time. So mock exams every 10 days. In case you are done with the first revision, you are a repeater, and you are already very confident about it, maybe one mock test 7 days. In case you are running short on time, one mock test about 14 days. So 7, 10, 14 is what I would suggest. Sir, anything you want to add on this?
I think while revising it is very important to scan your subjects. When it is important, as sir said, there's a lot of concept building that is done that you already know. Like, for example, you're studying gynecology or OBG, there's a lot of anatomy that is discussed before they go into the topic. So you should know where to, slow down, where to speed up. If you're, anatomy, physiology of that, that is just to build your concepts. That is not that relevant to the questions that are being asked in gynecology. So you need to be able to scan through that. And wherever, the important topics, antepartum hemorrhage, postpartum hemorrhage, those topics come in, you need to slow down and make your revision in a scanned fashion so that you can do more effective revision and more targeted revisions there. And as far as the GTs and MCQ discussions are concerned, as all the faculties are telling, adapting that practice is essential, and a serious approach towards GTs is needed. If you have not started, please do it. And it is only with the repeating, how will your GT score improve? By doing more GTs. As simple as that. How people keep asking, sir, how do I improve my GT score? By doing more and more GTs. You keep doing that, but look at the mistake that you have done. Every time you do that, it definitely will improve. Sir, one student is asking, sir, winters are coming. It is very cold to wake up in the morning. Some advice for that.
You study till late, actually. I would say keep one sleep cycle for you, be it winter or summers. And whatever you are comfortable, you can sleep at 1 o'clock, get up at 6:30 in the morning. That's okay. Like, I think your brain is actually giving you ideas how to justify to now decrease the number of hours you have been putting. I think I can sleep for 1.5 hours extra now because exam is in January. Please be careful. Please be careful. Why I say that with so much clarity, because I have a history of wasting 19 months of my life hearing to my brain. Actually, I know how brain can beautifully generate, very valid points to substantiate, then validate that why you're wasting time is absolutely correct, because exam is postponed. Number one, winters are coming, so I should be sleeping an hour extra. Be careful. Be careful. One part of your own brain is working against you always. This is the biggest autoimmunity we're suffering from. Please be careful. Stand against it. I always say, when your brain's monkeys start talking to you, tell them to please be quiet. Let me study. I got extra time. It's a blessing. Please don't let me waste the time. For that, you have to be strict with yourself. I always say that without sacrifices, nothing happens. Let me tell you, there's no magic that you don't study, you go home for 1 week, your cousin marriage is coming, festival is coming. No, I can have 3-4 days break and all that. My dear friend, without sacrifices, nothing happens. No magic happen. Magics only happen with your utmost dedication. By chance, you were getting stuck at 148. Magic can happen. 2 more extra guessworks correct, and you are champion on that day. But for that, you have to be eligible for the blessing. You have to qualify for the blessing. And the only way to do that is to do sacrifice. So please be careful. Your brain is tinkering you with this thought. Just let it know, I want to study more.
Sandeep sir, like people are asking, should they do their notes that they have done, or should they watch rapid revision videos, and should they only do the PYQs?
It's like a triage. I think whatever you have read and made your own handwritten notes, you may not have the confidence. You can do it 2 times, it will be less time consuming and going to be more productive. So my suggestion, go with your own handwritten notes. In case there is a particular subject which is a problem area, only for that particular subject, you can consider revision or rapid revision or quick revision kind of videos. But for remaining subjects, vast majority, maybe 15, 16 subjects, which you have done properly, which you have read properly, do it from your own notes. First, solve previous year questions of the last 6 papers, that is 3 years. You're done with that, add 2 more year papers. If still done, you can add GT questions, also need to revise them. NEET PG question is risky. At the same time, if you want to practice, there is no harm in that. But the weightage and the depth into which examiners go in NEET PG, that can be a two-edged sword. If you are already suffering with confidence issues, you may sometimes find that questions are not getting solved on NEET PG. That is not truly reflective of the FMGE exam. So do them just for the sake of practice of MCQs. I would say yes, instead of solving a random 10,000 Q bank kind of a thing, you can go for a NEET PG question. That is going to be more rewarding. At the same time, don't overdo them as well. And at the same time, one more query I've just got, that sir, something like what to do about the small subjects. As I as I told before, small subjects should not be neglected. When I say small subject, any subject on a particular day, you can have 5 questions coming of it, and maybe those 5 questions are very easy. So don't leave out any subject. Upper and lower limit you need to define for a subject, small subject, say anesthesia, say psychiatry. If you are giving more than 2 days, not needed. If you are giving just half an hour to that subject, not needed. Skipping out that subject, absolutely wrong. Maybe in the first reading over the next 40-45 days that you're going to do, about 1 day. In the next reading that you will be doing, maybe about half day. That's it. So give time according to the weightage of the subject, and don't try to, do too many things at this time. And previous year question, first thing, then moving on to grant test and subject-wise test or T&D if you have joined someplace, then 𝗦𝗵𝗃 question, then the Q-bank question, and then some random stuff coming your way.
Yeah, agree. And
Yes.
so may I add one line about the people who are repeating the paper, sir, because their mind will be different from the freshers actually.
Yes.
So allow me 1 minute on that, sir. Guys, the people who are repeating the paper first time, second time, third time, fourth time, or more than that, when the exam got postponed, you will have this thing that we were about to finish this ordeal at the earliest, and now we have to suffer this even more. But ask yourself very transparently, just analyze it. Do you think that all 90 subjects are done by now? Do you think so? Your brain will tell you that still there are many areas in which you are not confident about. So any person who is repeating can always take hint from Sandeep Sharma sir that 𝗦𝗵𝗃 questions can be done now to add more, I would say, armamentarium to your knowledge. And don't get this feeling that we have to really extend this for 1 more month. Always be, having this feeling in your mind that please be thankful for the extra time, because medical science, the kind of paper we had last 2 times, the paper come of the same level again. If we will be having another month to read certain areas which are challenging, like metabolic alkalosis, acidosis, you are still not clear about, or the PSM certain biostats question you had still problem about, why not really tackle them? So, my dear friends, I do understand the repeat batch would be having a different kind of challenge, but again, let us utilize this time to cover up whatever we are still deficient at and do more questions around 𝗦𝗵𝗃 and do certain, addition little bit here and there to the same topic. Don't start new topics. When I say 𝗦𝗵𝗃, you have one extra information about a topic we wrote in the class. You can start that, but don't start a new topic altogether, because that will be a problem for you again, because you will not revise it. Khaleel sir.
Yes, sir. I think, as the students have been asking, short subjects are scoring subjects. You should do them. You can do it retrograde also. They will give you high yield marks. But for the major subjects, please stick to your class notes and do them topic wise. If you are really feeling there is a lack of time, try to complete your class notes. But if you feel there's a deficiency of time for short subjects, please at least do the rapid revision and the PYQs. But the main subjects, please do them thoroughly with your class notes and with your video lectures that you have watched. Review the notes more than video watching. I would suggest revise your work that you have already done. If you've already watched the videos, don't need to do them again. Revise your class notes and practice, and use your MCQ discussion. There are a lot of videos on DocTutorials also with the MCQ discussion part, test and discussion parts, and use them when you're really tired, when you don't want to sit for longer time and study actively. You can use it as a time where you are low on energy, where the faculty will drive you through to complete your topics as much as possible. So have that balance where you use your active energy in active recall, active learning your notes and stuff, and use the videos very selectively when you're really down on energy, when you still want to push 1 or 2 hours of extra time of study. And I think we have pretty much covered most of the topics,
Yes.
sir. Any final comments that you would like to add on to it?
Sandeep
So
sir.
just one thing, a few students asked about planning the revision. See, it all depends upon where do you stand and how many readings you have done. So for those who are done with the 19 subjects or those who are repeaters, if we take starting from 1st November, 1st November to mid-December, 45 days, try to do one proper reading, right? One proper reading of the notes and try to solve previous year question of last 5 years of that particular subject in that. In between, one grant test or one second reading about 3 weeks. So second reading, and whatever is the time allowed after that, we don't know the date yet. Say you get 7 days or 10 days after that, one quick reading, only focusing on high yielding areas, not covering entire subject, not covering cover to cover, and just sticking to theory. Last 7 days, try to avoid too many MCQs. That is what I feel I would be doing if I have to suggest someone. But you need to tinker and change according to your thoughts. But still, it is doable. 3 months is a lot of time. At the same time, itna time nahi hai that you start wasting time, as Rajiv sir says. Over to you, sir. Rajiv sir.
I'll say final thing, just only one. पेपर के पोस्टपोन होते ही आप पेपर के पास होने के और पास पहुंच गए हो. याद रखना कि पेपर थोड़ा दूर गया है, लेकिन हमारे पास होने की पॉसिबिलिटी बहुत इंक्रीज हो गई. तो only one worry I have is that, this can, like, people can get a little bit lax right now. Ki ho jayega, kar lenge. But that, because I have done that. Actually, that's why I'm saying it, because I do not want my younger brothers and sisters to do the same mistake as I did. And I really want to really see you guys pass the examination. And this is a huge dividend you've got. Guys, don't let this go waste. Our humble suggestion to all of you, you're grown-up people. Nobody can really, create, certain rule for you to follow. But just analyze the situation. We always wanted extra time. We have this time at our disposal now. Let's do more questions. Let us not do just PYQs with them. Let us do PYQT. What is PYQT? PYQ topics. Let us not just do GTs. Let us do GTR. What is GTR? GT review. Review your GT. Why I did not attempt this question correctly? Even if I knew this, what was my thought process? Why I read this as this actually? That's a huge learning, because one time you do mistake, second you do mistake, but you analyze that mistake. Third time, have you seen it? You never fall in the same trench 3 times. It's not, brain will not allow that actually. So, as sir said that, after GT, you review your GT. Guys, after GT, you can feel discouraged. Dr. Dhawan, I'm scoring 143 marks, 142 marks. But another way of looking at things is that this is not the final exam. It's a stepping stone towards the final exam. If we keep analyzing ourselves, sitting on every stair towards the top, can we reach the top? Because doing GT, doing mock, doing class test is just the training of the brain for the final day. Don't take them as assessment yardsticks, actually. Take them as preparatory tools. That's the most important thing over there. And last, and the most important, I'll say, keep the hope of passing within you alive. That I'm doing my hard work. I'm doing all sort of sacrifices possible. Please bless my hard work. I always say, pray for yourself first. May I pass. May my friends also pass. Create a general feeling of well-being. That's also personality building exercise. Why not? We can do that. But keep doing a lot of hard work. Sir.
Yes, sir. So guys, I mean, in the final moments of, this revision, it's important that you plan to revise in the last 15 days. So see that you complete all your revisions and keep 15 days separately for another final revision, or at least 19 days if you want to do it, in the last part. So don't carry your revisions too close to the exam. Revise to see that you revise in the last. Your revision plan should be in such a way that you revise one more time in the last 15 to 19 days. And avoid the constant comparisons with your peers. It is your journey, as Sandeep sir has clearly mentioned. You're fighting your own individual battle, and a successful battle. You know how to fight for it and how to work for it. And it's important to be resilient in this phase. There will be a lot of drama going on with the exams, with the, this MCQs will come, that material, new material is coming, that new course is coming, and you'll also be distracted with some things that you're not going in your direction at your homes, or you want to take a break in the festivals and all. It's important to keep fighting back and stay in rhythm, and don't overburden with unachievable targets. Make plans for achievable targets, and for that it is very important to be in schedule. It's very, very crucial that you plan your schedule, execute your schedule as much as possible, and put down short revision notes for every subject that you're going to revise in the last few days, so close to exam. So your whole planning should be for your last 15 days, and you should be ready for those last 15 days where you will effectively revise everything. And I think, thank you so much, Rajiv sir and Sandeep sir, for the time that you have been providing at this crucial juncture, especially with the announcement. And thank you everybody for joining in. It's so much of enthusiasm. We see so many students, with a lot of active participation. It's been nice, and I think we should come down one more time to interact with them close to exam.
Definitely.
Yes, sir.
So we at DocTutorials, we have this trend of being in touch with the students. All the faculty members would love to really be with them as they pass through such a crucial phase of their life, actually. So we'll definitely come back again at appropriate intervals so that we also are aware that what you are doing, how you are doing, and is everything on track or not.
Yes. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.